Hello, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing another family game night video because I believe families need to spend more time together. And with this forced coronavirus quarantine that they've got going on, where everybody's got to stay home, uh, you know, families need to communicate. They need to talk more, and this is the perfect opportunity to get started in doing this stuff. What I'm talking about here is not video games or any of that stuff. It's tabletop role playing. And your whole family can sit around and do this, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant because you have to communicate in these games. You can't sit there and veg out in front of a video game or just stare at the TV blankly. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm not saying I'm not. However, years ago, before we had video games, you had to sit around a table with friends and family and roll dice and actually communicate what you're doing. And you had one person who was the game master, called different things in various games. But this is the perfect opportunity for that. And I do a variety of different games on my channel as far as family game night goes. Go check those out. This particular one I'm doing is the old FASA, FASA version of Star Trek, the role-playing game. If you're any kind of a Star Trek fan, you're going to love this. This game is affordable. It's actually very cheap. Once you get the books, you can play literally forever. All it takes is a little bit of imagination. And this is one of my all-time favorites. I played when we were younger. We played this game so much, almost as much as we played Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. We played this game so much with so many different people running it. The books got destroyed. I still have the books there, but I've got them. The pages are all torn out and everything. The books got destroyed. So I put them together in page protectors, and they're in a big binder. Okay. This game came out in 1982, and there are other versions of this, but in my opinion, it is the best. It keeps to Gene Roddenberry's vision of what Star Trek was supposed to be. Humanity being humans in stars and doing their best to spread out in a peaceful manner. Sorry, dog. But this, in my opinion, this is the best version of the game. Like I said, they have newer versions and more complex versions. This one is very simple. It's very easy to play. It's very easy to run. A first-time game master can sit down with very minimal reading, create characters, and run a game. It's very easy to run. The characters are generated Starfleet Academy through attaining whatever desired position they want. And the idea is you're running a character on a starship, usually an officer, but you can run any position you want. And you're taking the place of a bridge staff member on a starship. When Kirk and Spock and them were on the Enterprise, they had the old Star Trek from back in the 60s. They had the captain, they had the first officer, they had the science officer. Now Spock doubled as both of those, so that's a rarity, and you can have two different people playing those, which is cool. They had the chief engineer, Mr. Scott. They had the chief medical officer, Dr. McCoy. I mean, all of them. Every person in there, you can play a character, an original character, in that position on another starship. We famously played on the Lexington for years. I had a half Klingon security officer. We had I want to say he was an Edoan doctor, and I'm going to do a video on that one. You're going to like it. Actually, I think I did. Actually, I already did it. It should already be up. Save us from our doctor. Yeah. My friend Kevin was running the doctor on that one. The character creation is very thorough. You can literally make any kind of character you want with whatever skills you want. the training is very thorough. You will get tired of advanced training. Roll so many dice and add points, that kind of thing. They're very well rounded. They're fleshed out. The characters know a broad range of skills. So, and they do that on purpose, because on a starship you only have so many people, and you only have so many specialists. So everybody has to know certain skills. The doctor may have to fill in as an engineer. The security chief may have to fill in as a helmsman in an emergency situation. You see what I'm saying? And plus, they have to have a variety of other skills too, because if you go to, excuse me, if you go down to a planet, you have to maybe know meteorology or geology or some other science. So you get a variety of different skill sets for each character, and no two characters are the same. You can have a science officer on the Lexington and a science officer on the Hood, and they're completely different. They have different specialties. They have different. They're all going to know the basic stuff, but they're different characters, and it's brilliant. The variety of characters here is awesome. Again, this is designed as a role-playing game. They have a board combat version of it, similar to Starfleet Battles, but it's not it's not designed for that. So don't put a lot of stock in that part of it. This is designed for your characters to sit and play and stay on the bridge or beam down to a planet and do your thing. But it's meant for the character interaction rather than the ships fighting each other. And one thing you do have to watch out for in this is role-playing versus power-playing. And by that I mean you get characters. What we used to do was draw randomly for what position on the ship you were going to play. So you never know who was going to be the captain. You never know who's going to be the science officer. You never know who's going to be the doctor. You never know who's going to be the security chief. That kind of thing. Excuse me. So, but we had players that were bound and determined to be good at combat. Well, that kind of goes against a lot of the spirit of the game, because a lot of these characters were just the players were combat obsessed. So you had security officers, science officers, helmsmen, that kind of thing, that couldn't do their job but they were great at shooting a phaser and beating people up. You see what I'm saying? So make sure your character can do his job first. And if he can be good with a phaser and like that afterwards, that's fine. But make sure he can do his job first. That's the main thing. It's crappy when the captain says, science officer, can you tell me what that is? And the guy says, I have no freaking clue, Cam. Because he doesn't know how to work the sensors, that kind of thing. Or, I'm injured, I need to go see the doctor. And the doctor says, well, I can't help you. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That gets kind of old pretty quick. So keep that in mind. But again, these old games are brilliant as far as being able to interact with people. Video games are fun, but in my opinion, they lack that human interaction that tabletop role-playing enjoys. And we're all stuck at home with this crap, okay? Well, I'm going to go a little political on here. Those Democrats are going to use this as much as they can. God knows how long we're going to be stuck at home. You can order this shit on Amazon and it'll arrive at your door. So, and again, there's a variety of different kinds of role-playing games. If you're not into Star Trek or if you're not into medieval sword and sorcery, there's tons of others. I've got a game in there. If you were a fan of The Sopranos, I've got a game in there called Made Men. And I haven't played it yet because I haven't had the opportunity because my wife just got it for me a while back. But it's 1920s mobsters. Okay, you get to play a mobster like on The Sopranos. But again, you got to check these games out. They're awesome. They're fun, and again, they allow you to spend time with your family and friends. Human interaction at its finest. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.